A big change coming to perhaps the most influential policy group that you'd never, ever heard of here. The group, it's known as ALEC, and no, it's not some Baldwin joke here or something else. ALEC. And today, this group announced they're going to roll back its sphere of influence away from social issues and focus just on economic ones. Well, that decision comes after ALEC's corporate sponsors began backing away from the group because of the critical role that ALEC, again, ALEC, we're going to refer to as ALEC for the rest, they played in the Stand Your Ground law. And you know, obviously, that law in Florida and the consequences that came out of it. Its influence went much further, though, than just that. It probably went to your own state capital. So what exactly is ALEC and why is it getting all this attention? Andrew, again, explain to people here, because we talk about it in production meetings, but most people never even heard of this thing.
Look, we're used to PACs and other outside groups influencing policies, but not quite on the level of ALEC. You mentioned Stand Your Ground, but it's not just the law in Florida. That same law with almost the exact same wording is also on the books in 12 other states. Or you can take voter ID laws. Somehow the exact same bill has been passed in 22 states, all in the past 10 years, and they're almost carbon copies of one another. Turns out the similarities are no accident. One group has been writing these and a slew of other laws on the state level, then send them out to lawmakers, usually Republican lawmakers, and getting them passed. As Rich mentioned, that group is ALEC, officially the American Legislative Exchange Council. ALEC gets its money and influence from the GOP and also from legislative-minded billionaires like the Koch brothers and other cash from major corporations like Exxon and Walmart. And with that lineage, you can guess that the bills that ALEC supports are designed to help support these three groups. But it's the process that may upset you. ALEC's experts turn the policies favored by those groups, then turns them into bills, like the kind you might remember from Schoolhouse Rocks. It then essentially copies those bills and sends those bills to lawmakers in individual states. The lawmakers then submit them in their own legislatures, get them voted on, and in many cases, they become passed into state law. And their bills cover a range of subjects from guns and voter ID to tobacco laws, health insurance, jails and corrections, public education, workers' rights, even tort reform, limiting who can sue whom. All take pro-business positions supported by the GOP, and many have ended with new laws on the books in any number of states. Rich?
Okay, now, you've covered this, Dominic, in terms of how, like the Schoolhouse Rock, a bill becomes a law, and certainly you've worked here with lobbying firms. We all know how they make the sausage here, and it's not a pretty process. But I never heard or seen of somebody who basically says, all right, here's the bill. Don't touch it. Don't even read it. Just put it up, vote on it just as we do it, and don't worry your pretty little heads, and you'll get a nice contribution. Without exaggeration, Andrew, that's pretty much how this process works. And they do it. Have you ever heard of this before?
I haven't heard of it, but I will say money, money, money. That's what's happening with our politicians.
You got some suit, and when I say suit, the Koch brothers, all right, who decide they want to change the way America works here. They write a law. They tell a lawmaker, here, I'm gonna email it to you, print it out, and bring it to your office and pass it. They don't even go through the pretense of trying to pitch them on the merits of it. You want to check, you're going to do our business. Citizen United on steroids. This is crazy.
Right. Well, this is an example of bad politics that does exist. It's not everybody everywhere. But the truth of the matter is that this is something that is politics above merit. It's not about right or wrong. And it also can be sold as pro-business. Believe me, I'm not for this. However, on the other hand, it's not something that doesn't go on. And we all have to understand that money does drive politics, and this is a money group.
They don't
and a money group is going to be powerful.
Pretense, though, going through the dance. They just tell you to do it.
Lazy lawmaking. It's just, I want a bill that's pro-gun. What do you got for me? Well, here it is. It feels very, very lazy. We've seen
when you can get bought for a price, you know what you are, and I won't even say the word here, but certainly some lawmakers in certain states, well, you've just been described. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we come back. We got some talks at the table, including the question of whether it's time that elderly drivers should be forced off the road here. Again, it's a sensitive debate for any of us who've got loved ones up there in age here who maybe shouldn't be behind the wheel. Stay with us. We'll be right back.